Hi Arun, how are you doing? How's the weather there?
Hello. Hi, Vignesh. Yeah, I'm good. Hope everything is well.
Yeah, but the markets do not seem to look great. So in the last 3 weeks, it has fallen 10%. There is a war that is just started. Iran, Israel, and the US have been fighting each other, and Indian markets are dancing a lot compared to US markets, compared to markets in other markets in Asia. Indian market has fallen the most. Could be due to huge dependence on crude and a lot of other factors. So technically, where do you see? So we were, in fact, we were at 26,250 in the first week of January. So it's been just 2 months. So it was close to all time high. So basically, it hit all time high. So 26,250 was all time high in the first week of January. Now we are at 23,151, 12-13% fall. So from a technical point of view, based on charts, what are your thoughts?
So technically, right now, I've got a weekly chart in the Nifty.
Mm.
So here you can see that we are breaking down in critical area. So you can see that in
So super
the
trend and weekly chart.
weekly chart and super trend. So here, if you see the um, so we broke the trend last year, like the second week of first week of March.
Mm.
And now we are falling through, right? So right now there is no, I don't put it's very difficult to say right now with the war situation how far this will fall, right?
Mm.
So what we can say is it is now going into a downtrend in a weekly chart. The supports
Mm.
for me is coming at these levels, right? So for me, the next main support is around 21 728. Then you have, so let's say you can actually put it like this here. So this is like one
Mm.
support area, which is 22,000. Then I have another support area around this area,
Mm.
um, which is, or here. I will put it, if we lose there, then I would
Mm.
say next one would be around 20,163. So, and also the main thing is I also got your MACD here.
Mm.
So if you see the MACD, you can see that it is actually starting to go below zero. Usually, when it is going above zero, it is start of a bullish trend, and when
Mm.
it is actually going below zero, it is a bearish trend. The
Okay.
other thing to see here is it is actually forming a cup and handle breakdown. So you see a
Mm.
cup here. So this is a long cup
Mm.
going back from 2022 to here, and then it went here down, but it
Ah.
couldn't go through fully, and then it came back again. Now
Mm.
it's this is the handle. Now if we break
Mm.
below zero here, which is I think the which will be probably corresponding to the 22,000 level. If we
Mm.
go beyond that, it could actually fall through a lot more from a MACD point of view. So that
Mm.
means this is like a weekly scale, right? So you're talking about almost this fall, going through almost like a bear market kind of thing till almost whole of the 2026. So that possibility is
Okay.
also there, right?
Mm.
So for me, like fundamentally, that goes along with your war situation. So this war is very unique in the sense that nobody is knows where the bottom is. Like, see, um, before there were skirmishes, like Israel used to hit some
I've seen.
Middle
Yeah.
Eastern countries, and then nothing will happen. US will say that I will go to war with Iran, but nothing will happen. But now what's happening is US actually went to war in Iran through the air, but then Iran retaliated so much that actually US is not having a solution right now. So the
Mm.
only so either US has to put the ground troops and go into Iran,
Mm.
or it has to back out. Right? If
Mm.
it backs out, then that is not a great solution either, because then what it says to everyone is, Iran now has the power to disrupt Middle East, right? So
Mm.
if again US or Israel accept, Iran will simply go and bomb Dubai and other GCC countries, right? So this
Mm.
was not there previously. So now, there is if there is now something on the side of Iran which can actually disrupt the world economy, right? So now
Mm,
what happens? So you don't have crude oil, but crude oil is not the only problem. So don't
mm,
have crude oil. You have problems in other areas as well, like sulfur is not there. Like if the commodities which come from GCC, right? So
mm,
those are not there. So when crude is not there, you cannot do sub products, right? So all the petroleum products, which are the raw materials for many industries, that are not going to be there.
mm,
And then gas, Qatar has never not produced gas ever. When it started producing in the last 20 years,
mm,
there has not been a time where it has not shipped anything, right? So it's always
mm.
shipped something. So not having gas from Qatar is a huge issue, right?
Correct.
So your gas prices affected. So you have a lot of these problems, and it's not just they are affected. There is bombing happening in these refineries. So how much time it will take for those refining capacity, for those production capacities to come up? So many ships have got hit. So how
Mm,
much time it will take for those ships to be built, extra capacity to come in? So
mm,
this is not, even if the war stops tomorrow,
mm,
you don't know that 2 months later Iran might again bomb again. So you don't know that. That is the big issue here, right?
mm,
So what we are looking at is a prolonged, so one is like a short term, it could end, but long term consequences are huge, right?
mm,
So that is where I would say, like, I think we are now going into like a kind of a structural bear market. When I say
mm,
structural, when basic economical needs that are getting problematic to get them,
mm.
then you are structurally your GDP gets weakened and
Yeah.
everything goes with it, right? So
Mm,
it's a bad situation, and the more resilient companies will survive. The companies with not much debt, like who are very
typical
prudent,
cash
will
cows.
survive. Yeah, yeah, cash and all these things, and also who are not dependent on these kind of things. Or yeah, only those companies will survive in this
So,
market.
do you think this will impact companies in the long term, their financials, their numbers, and growth?
So there are twofold effect, right? So this is one problem. Oil is one problem. Then the other problem is the weakening rupee, right? So you look at USD to INR, it's now hitting the highest 92, 93. So all this also it's not good because now foreign investment is not flowing in. So when you say rupee is weakening, so that means the most of the money, the foreign money is going into US in this
Oh,
situation, right?
oh,
So not much money is coming in from externally. So
okay.
that is one problem. So that affects your import-export market. So it
Mm,
takes a lot more money from India to buy, in US. So if for example, if you are a company who needs your raw material, but it
mm,
has to be shipped from another country,
mm,
then you need your, USD to be in proper support. Otherwise, your input cost is higher,
mm,
and that kind of affects like what you do down the line, right? Your
mm,
so that is the major issue. So you have twofold effects here: oil and then rupee. Now when oil goes high, what happens? Inflation goes high, everything, all the prices goes high because
mm.
oil is high. There is no gas, so say even your restaurant hotels, they are going to increase their
Correct.
for prices, right? So
Mm.
everywhere
They've
the
already
price is
done that
going
in
to increase,
India,
right? Yeah,
stating
yeah. So I'm saying
lack of gas.
that is the other issue, right? So you have an inflation now going high, so that means rates would have to be increased. But when you start increasing your rate, you are depreciating your currency even more. So it's a very very precarious situation for all the countries. So basically, US has not done any favors to anyone, including themselves. Yeah,
Yeah, so this could be bigger than what we are looking at, right? So the correction may have just started. Who knows if this continues?
yeah.
Maybe we are
It will.
in for a
See if
long-term
you
bear
the
market.
Yeah, it is, I think, a start of a long-term bear market, but there are always sectors which is going to benefit a little bit more than the other, or
Mm,
there are going to be sectors which are going to be more affected than others. So
mm,
as an investor, you just need to stay away from where you know the problem is going to be more, right? Like
mm,
example, would you go and put your money in airline stock now? No, right? So,
no.
but in the same case, would you put your money in energy stocks? I would say yes. So,
Mm.
like, I'll just give you an example. So, if you in the trading view, if you type CNX and then just look for indices, you will see all the sector level indices here. So,
Mm.
you just go and look at each and every one of them. One of the outperforming ones are usually the metals right now. So, metals, yes, it is coming down,
Wow.
but
Mm.
when you
It's
compare to others,
bullish
it
on
is
Supertrend.
actually an uptrend, right? So,
Mm.
look at auto
Auto is in downtrend.
down, big down, right? And
10%
worst,
down
I mean,
this
like,
week.
but look at energy. If you look at energy, energy is actually consolidating. It is not bad here. So if you see in
Mm.
the last three weeks, it's actually gone from 32,000 to 36,000. So, and if you look at the energy stocks, it's your Reliance, it's your ONGC. You may not get a big money from them, but in this kind of situation here, when your oil is going up and up, these are all your defensive stock, right? So,
Got it.
I would try to be defensive
What about the
mostly.
defense sector, especially when war is going on?
Yeah,
Will
defense
India
sector is
continue
good.
to invest more in defense, and
Um,
will Indian defense companies get more contracts from Europe?
I think so. I think more from Europe, if Gulf stabilizes,
Mm.
Gulf needs to rebuild a lot, right?
Mm.
So
Correct.
what is happening now? Gulf had US air base because
Yeah.
they thought US could protect them, but in the end, what happened? US really could not protect them. So what will
Correct.
happen to Gulf countries now? What they will think? I won't maybe like start depending on US. Maybe I need to depend on myself. So they would
Mm.
start doing large scale defense spending or large scale shipbuilding or other things, right? So you would
Correct.
have that pocket, but they need stability right now. So Gulf needs stability. If Gulf can get stability, then the next set of work can come from there. So if you
Mm.
just look at the Indian stock only, like what will be better to be in? Like I would say better to position yourself in stocks which are independent of energy market, right? So or independent of like doesn't nothing really impacts this. So those kind of companies or the energy companies you can stay. Otherwise, shipbuilding companies are good, say Mazdok shipping, because so many ships have got impacted. And either you need to build those cargo ships or you need to build military, right? Military ships you might need to build.
Mm.
So I would say like in the short period, in this next 1 year period, when you know that oil is the play, then you would have to be in those kind of stocks like oil exploration stock, drilling stocks, so on.
Mm. So all these are
In
going to have
fact,
a bull run.
sorry.
Now, all these are going to have a bull run. All these oil
Yeah, yeah. See,
upstream,
in fact,
downstream, midstream
when
companies,
yeah,
the oil
yeah, when
space.
we did our, if you remember, when we did our last January 1, I actually talked about gold to this is gold to oil ratio, which was hitting
Correct.
80 at the Jan, right? Then
Yeah.
that time, basically, I was saying hold gold, silver profit book, copper hold, oil buy. That
Yeah,
was
you're
my
bang on. So
take.
all your predictions have been right. I wish I had blindly followed all your uh,
You don't need to
investment
blindly
topics.
follow. So that's why I'm saying
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
investment advice. But I'm
So,
saying like it is see, the reason why I was saying oil, right? The
uh,
reason why I was saying oil is I don't know what was coming. I simply know that this ratio was so high. That is, you can buy with the one goal, you can buy so much barrel of oil, right?
hmm,
So that is where it was. Now you see that in January it went to 80, right? Now
hmm,
let's look quickly. I'll show you this
yeah,
gold to
oil
oil
rich.
ratio.
Crude.
Now, if you do in the monthly, now you see when was the peak? The week after we spoke,
Correct.
26, that is when it hit 85 ratio.
Hmm,
Since then, it's come down a lot. That's meaning
And
that
it
it's
has become
because
bearish.
it's not that gold has lost value. Actually, crude oil has
Has
increased
gone up.
value,
Hmm.
right?
So
So
basically,
this is
numbers tell
the
you the whole story. So war is
yeah,
clearly seen in this picture. So the charts tell
yeah,
you
like
everything.
yeah. So sometimes the your commodities
Hmm.
your doing commodity ratios gives
Hmm.
you a lot of hints where you are in the cycle.
Hmm.
Right. So are you in the gold high cycle or are you in the oil low cycle? You can all find it just by doing like just do a monthly chart and then you see, right? So you can see that when did this peak? So you can see that this whole run started in 2023. That's when gold started going high, 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 right? And
Hmm.
then it reached such a high point in the if you see in the trend back from 2028, 2008, it went so high. So that means that something has to give. Either oil has to go high or
The
gold has to
gold has
go
to
high.
come down, but gold showed
Right.
no signs of coming down.
Yeah, there is proper reason for that, right? So gold is still
Correct.
the place to be. So
Hmm.
I would say like gold is still the place to be. So that's immaterial. I mean, invariably, oil was a buy. Yeah.
Hmm. So that's great insight. Thanks a lot. And for long-term investors, is this something that is an opportunity to start buying, or again?
No, actually, right now, until we know what is going to happen with war, it is a very difficult time. So I would
Mm,
say just be in defensive stock, just
mm.
be in gold or silver or these things, and try to be in companies which are like not much debt and then has like where you see there is a growth, right? So immaterial of what is happening around
So
the
can you
world.
open the?
Can,
Yeah, yeah, continue.
yeah, I said like whichever company which can give you that growth immaterial of what is happening around the world, those companies
Mm.
will benefit.
Yeah, got it.
Otherwise, this is time to be cautious, and but at the same time, be on cash. So when you know that things are turning, you are able to deploy that cash into the market.
Correct. So can you open the IT index as well? I think it fell 10 to 15%, I guess, in the last Nifty IT.
CNXIT, right? Yeah,
Yes. How far it has
right.
fallen?
Yeah. So it's actually going to get terrible right now. So if you see here, it's the monthly one is going to cross below zero, maybe in next 2 months, right? So it's I don't see especially this level, right? This is your level for IT. You should get some kind of a bounce here in 26,160,
Why is
but if
that
you
point?
don't, hmm?
Why that point is critical? Is that where we
Because
see some
technically in the
bounce back?
chart, if you see here,
Got it.
what year
There are
was it?
so many bounce
2022.
backs. Yeah,
So you
support
can
is
see that
significant. Yeah.
every time it came here, there has been a
Mm,
bounce, right?
mm,
So now it is falling. Where is
mm,
this going to end? One place it can end is in the support.
mm,
Okay. But if it cannot end, then your next big support is all the way down here.
mm,
Right. So so also the MACD also says that it is going to be that kind of thing. So it's not a great time to be in IT with all AI and other things happening. So I would say like as a sector, you have to be very, very picky in IT.
Got it. So all of them are cyclical. So some sectors get rotated. So you may not see significant investment returns in the IT index in the next few years. Maybe that can also happen, right?
Yeah, it can happen, right? So it's a very critical situation.
Mm,
So I think where you would, I think if you see sector-wise play, where I think you would have to focus on is where can India get edge over China? Which are the sectors where
mm,
India could shine? Because now US is trying to move away from Chinese supply chain, right?
mm,
So that means there are going to be sectors which are going to get benefited more
mm,
than others, right?
mm,
So if you can if you have that kind of insight and if you
mm.
know those sectors, then in that case I would say okay, pick those stocks which are like which are the leaders of those sectors.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll continue our discussion. So many things are happening in the world
Yeah.
right now. On the one side, we have war, and the other side, we are worried that
Yeah.
we may not have gas cylinders to cook. And on the other side, petrol, maybe cars to get. So many things are
Yeah.
happening. So yeah, we'll continue our discussion next
I
week
think
as well.
I think we will end up with a trend again, like
Mm.
working from home trend. Like already in some countries they have started doing that.
Mm.
Instead of becoming like a one-off thing, it could become a normal to do work from home from now on. With if oil is for higher for longer. Let's see.
Yeah, we have to wait and see how the leaders take decisions across Israel,
Yeah.
Iran, and US. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Arun. Great insights. Yeah, we'll continue our discussion in the next week as well.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.